Way back in 1938, Triumph made one of the first parallel twin engines in a bike that became known as the Speed Twin. Now, some 80 years later, that name has been revived, adding to Triumph's ever-popular modern classics range. Meet the new Speed Twin, available in a solid jet black, or silver ice and storm grey, or this one, corrosive red and storm grey, both with hand-painted graphite coach lines. Powered by the same 1200cc parallel twin engine from the Thruxton, the Speed Twin produces 112 Nm of torque and a power of 97 PS, with the same tuning as the Thruxton. The engine also benefits from a 10,000 mile service interval, meaning you can go for longer before having to fork out for those pesky dealership service costs. Although the Speed Twin is very much like the Thruxton, it does have its own dedicated chassis, wide bars and more upright seating position. At the front, it has twin Brembo calipers like the Thruxton R, which deliver superb stopping power. Other features include a multifunction LCD display, 3 rider modes, ABS and traction control, full LED lighting, and a Monza-style petrol cap, all as standard. The left switchgear controls are pretty standard. You have the information button to cycle through the display, which is all the usual odometer, trip counters, miles per gallon, etc. The rocker switch changes between the LED daytime running light and the main LED headlamp. The mode button changes between road, rain, and sport rider modes. And over on the right switchgear, it's very simple. It's just the hazard light switch and the all-in-one ignition and kill switch. As a short rider at 5'3", I tend to struggle a bit with seat heights. At 807mm, it is a bit on the tall side for comfort, but managing the weight isn't too bad. The real struggle is with the side stand. A lot of the Triumphs I have tried over the years have not had the little lug on the side stand which helps to raise and lower it. However, on the Speed Twin, they have put one on this time, but the stand tucks up so tightly below the gear shifter, it is still very difficult to find it with your foot. It is a fairly minor niggle, but I thought it was definitely worth mentioning. Otherwise, the rest of the bike is fantastic, and it is very nicely finished. I am a fan of these aluminium fenders, it just gives it that little bit more of a better feeling of a good build quality. This demonstrator has the optional Vance & Hines exhaust system fitted. The stock pipes sound pretty good as they are, but the V&H just gives it that bit more of a grunt.
Only I will bring a road going bike to a gravelly car park. This is where I should bring the Scrambler when I get to test ride it. Yeah, no Scrambler XC demo available just yet, but they have got one in the showroom now, so yeah, there is hope. So if there's any bike that's going to sway me from getting a 1200 Scrambler or a Tiger next, it's this one. There's a lot to love about this bike, because it's basically the same as a Thruxton R, only comfortable. That's the only thing I didn't really like about the Thruxton R, was it was a little bit too tucked and lean forward for my liking, whereas this, it's more upright, and you've got the same engine in there and same performance, so yes, it is a lot better. And also, it's got the same, well, I think they're the same, but it was basically, you got twin Brembo calipers and discs on there, which is what you get on the Thruxton R, but not the standard Thruxton. But this is cheaper than even the standard Thruxton, so yeah, you're getting a better bike for your money, really. So yeah, let's talk about the view in general then from the seats. So up front you've got the twin clocks, which is very nice with that brushed aluminium effect with the little Triumph badge in the middle there. I quite like that. Then the ignition key, of course. And then you've got the Bulldog clamp with the Speed Twin writing on it, which is pretty cool. And then yeah, nice wide bars and bar end mirrors, which aren't too bad actually. They're very similar to the ones you get on the Street Cup. In fact, they probably are the same. I'm not sure. But yeah, they give quite a good view. Personally, I would probably put a little bit slimmer ones on there, but there are worse stock mirrors out there, trust me. These are quite good. But yeah, I'll probably style it up a bit with some different ones, maybe some round ones. But yeah, they do their job. That's what they're there for. Riding position, of course, very comfortable. It's more upright than the Thruxton. but probably not as upright as the T120 if I remember correctly. The T120 was a bit more armchairy. The seat is quite firm. There's, I think it's firm but comfortable. It's very supportive, I think. When you first sit on it, you think, oh, I'm not sure, that might be a little bit uncomfortable, but we'll see how it goes through this ride, whether I'll get any discomfort or not. I think it'll be fine at this stage. And there's plenty of room on it to shift your bum around so you can get into a nice position that you want. Okay, I'm going to kick it over into sport mode, which is a simple press of the mode button and close the throttle, and it should engage. It's not engaged. Come on, engage. Maybe I've got to... I'll press it again to confirm. Nope. That's it. My mistake. You've got to pull the clutch in. On this system, you've got to pull the clutch in to confirm the mode change. So now we are in sport mode, Bigglesworth. Yeah, so I'll get confused. On the Tiger, you just close the throttle to confirm the mode change. On this, it's, yeah, pull the clutch in. I forgot about that. So we are now in sport mode, so we'll give it a bit of a hoon. Okay, let's go. Oh, it's like a missile! Takes off like a missile. And, oh no. Come on, there's a gap coming, there's a gap coming. Let's see what it's like in top gear. It's probably a silly thing to do with all this traffic, but... Oh, he's going for it, I'm going for it. Oh, plenty of poke, even in top gear. Yeah, even in top gear, there's plenty of torque for you to do them quick overtakes when needed. So yeah, you don't have to worry about changing down gears to prepare yourself to overtake. On my Scrambler, you do need to go down a gear or two if you need to make a quick one. But yeah, with this, it's just got loads of power and torque for you to do it. Okay, nothing behind. And if you need to stop, we're doing about 45, 50. And the brakes, Jesus Christ, oh, I think I'm going to jettison myself off forwards. Yeah, the brakes are exceptionally good. And let's see, rear brake alone. It's nothing to scream about, but yeah, the rear brake does what it's supposed to do. It's just there for stability and control. But yeah, the front brakes, oh, they're so good, and it's not even kicking the ABS in. They are amazing. Whew. I think, yes, they certainly do a good job of stopping the bike. Not sure what they'll do about stopping you from flying forwards over the handlebars if you have to use them to their full potential. Doing 70 on the dual carriageway. I'm not really feeling any buffeting or wind blasting. I mean, it's fairly windy today. I'm not sure what direction the wind was blowing, but I mean, looking at the trees, it doesn't look like there's much wind at all. But yeah, hard to say. But generally, no buffeting. Of course, it's fairly comfortable actually. I'm not getting any wind blast, no aches in my neck. So yeah, dual carriageway speeds are fine. It seems to be cutting through the air nicely. And then into a bit of traffic, and it does absolutely fine there. She's got ride-by-wire throttle and torque assist clutch, so you don't even need throttle when you're moving off. You just pull the clutch out and it adds a bit of revs for you. And the clutch lever is pretty damn light as well. Probably not quite as light as what you get on the Street Cup, Street Twin, Street everything. But yeah, it's still pretty, yeah, pretty feather light. So you're not going to get an achy hand if you're doing a lot of traffic stuff. Okay. Sport mode, here we go. More sport mode. It is seriously fun, this bike. Fire up the Quattro. I do like some of the retro 80s cars. After all, I did own a Volvo 480 for a time. Okay, here we go. We're going to need to make a quick one here. That did the job nicely. It just pulls all through the rev range. It just doesn't, yeah, there's just no loss in it. What a machine they've made here. It's brilliant. I do like the ride-by-wire throttle for some of this slow speed stuff. It just makes it nice and smooth and a bit more confident doing little turns and like going around mini roundabouts and things like that. On my old 865 Scrambler, because that's just standard cable throttle, it can be a bit juddery if you haven't quite got the throttle right when you're doing some slow speed stuff. Whereas yeah, the ride-by-wire throttle just takes all that out. It just makes it all nice and smooth. See how this does in the twisties. Oh, very confident, very confident, strong and stable. Unlike some particular thing that's in the news at the minute. Well, I have to say I've had a lot of fun on the Speed Twin. Very enjoyable, fantastic bike, a lot of fun. Whee! I like that little corner. So in summary, I can't see why you would buy a Thruxton unless you really prefer the more aggressive riding position of the Thruxton. I can't see why you wouldn't go for one of these over a Thruxton. So if you're not too fussed about all the fancy technology, TFT instruments, etc., and modern looks that you have with the Street Triple, consider one of these. It's got a more classic look. It's still fairly modern looking, but it's got the classic baseline to it. Is that baseline? Well, I don't know where that come from, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, it's more, you know, more traditional analog display with a bit of the digital stuff thrown in there as well. Yeah, have a go at one of these. I highly recommend test riding one, of course. But yeah, between this and the Thruxton R, which is its kind of nearest thing, yeah, definitely this. Definitely. More comfortable and cheaper. It was like £1,000 cheaper, something like that. No, probably more than that. Whatever. Answer on the screen. So yeah, for effectively 1,000 and whatever, or nearly £1,000 cheaper than the Thruxton R, it's pretty much the same bike, just with a more upright position. And I think that's what most people struggle with on the Thruxton R, was the more sort of lean forward stuff. I mean, it's great if you're doing a lot of fast runs, absolutely fine for that, but as soon as it starts getting slow like this, you're sort of in traffic, you're crawling behind traffic, you're in traffic doing like 30 miles an hour, all your weight's suddenly on your wrist then, and yeah, that starts to get painful. But yeah, this is just brilliant. I mean, I can see there's a clear road up ahead and I know I can gun it and make it in before the solid white line. Of course, it handles the twisties just superbly. I would love to give this a go around a track in, you know, some proper conditions where you can really push its limits. I would love to give that a go on this. Anyway, thus concludes the test ride of the Speed Twin. Thank you very much for watching, and of course thank you very much to Destination Triumph Washington for letting me have a go on it. Yeah, now I've got to find the side stand. Look at it, it's really hard to get, even with the knobbly thing on. Ah. Brilliant, isn't it?